Hi everyone and welcome. Tonight, let's gently explore the most relaxing facts about Earth, our quiet, beautiful home drifting through space. From deep oceans to endless skies, allow your mind to slow down as we discover the calm wonders of our planet. The quiet story of our planet's beginning. Among the countless objects drifting through the vastness of space, Earth is a remarkably calm and balanced world. Floating around the Sun at a distance of about 150 million kilometers, our planet is the only known place in the universe where life exists in extraordinary diversity. Yet the story of Earth did not begin peacefully. It began with fire, dust, and the slow shaping of a young solar system more than 4.5 billion years ago. In the earliest days of the solar system, there was no Earth as we know it today. Instead, there was a vast swirling cloud of gas and dust surrounding the young sun. Tiny particles of rock and metal gently collided and stuck together. Over millions of years, these particles formed larger and larger bodies called planetesimals. Gradually, through countless collisions and gravitational attraction, these fragments merged into a growing young planet, the early Earth. At first, Earth was a glowing sphere of molten rock. The heat came from violent impacts with other objects, as well as the radioactive elements inside the planet. Its surface resembled an endless ocean of magma, glowing red and orange beneath a thick atmosphere of steam, volcanic gases, and carbon dioxide. Slowly, over millions of years, the planet began to cool. The outer layer hardened into the first crust. Beneath it, molten rock continued to move and circulate, shaping the deep interior of the planet. Even today, this slow movement continues, quietly driving the motion of continents and mountains. One of the most remarkable events in Earth's early history was the formation of the Moon. Scientists believe that about 4.5 billion years ago, a Mars-sized object collided with the young Earth. The impact was enormous, sending vast amounts of molten material into space. Over time, this debris slowly gathered together and formed the Moon, the bright companion that still orbits our planet today. The Moon plays a gentle but powerful role in Earth's stability. Its gravitational pull creates the tides in our oceans and helps stabilize the tilt of Earth's axis. Without the Moon, the climate of Earth might have been far more chaotic over millions of years. As Earth continued to cool, water vapor in the atmosphere began to condense. Rain fell for thousands, perhaps even millions, of years. Gradually, the first oceans formed, filling the low areas of the planet's crust. These ancient oceans became one of the most important environments in Earth's history. Within these quiet waters, something extraordinary began to happen. Simple molecules slowly organized into more complex chemical systems. Over immense spans of time, these systems gave rise to the first microscopic forms of life. Though incredibly small, these early organisms would begin a transformation that would eventually shape the entire planet. Today, when we look at Earth from space, it appears calm and beautiful, a blue sphere wrapped in clouds, slowly turning in the sunlight. But hidden within that peaceful image is a story billions of years in the making. A story of fire becoming water, chaos becoming balance, and a lifeless rock slowly becoming a living world. And this is only the beginning of the quiet and fascinating story of our planet. The calm architecture of Earth's surface. When viewed from space, Earth appears as a peaceful blue and green sphere, softly wrapped in swirling white clouds. Yet beneath that calm appearance lies a slow and fascinating system that shapes the entire surface of the planet. This system is known as plate tectonics, the gradual movement of massive pieces of Earth's crust that drift across the surface over millions of years. The outer shell of Earth, called the lithosphere, is not a single unbroken layer. Instead, it is divided into enormous sections called tectonic plates. These plates float slowly on top of a deeper, warmer layer of the planet known as the mantle. Although the mantle is made of solid rock, the extreme heat deep within Earth allows it to flow very slowly, almost like thick honey over vast geological timescales. Because of this slow movement, tectonic plates are constantly drifting, though the motion is incredibly gentle, usually only a few centimeters each year, about as fast as human fingernails grow. Over millions of years, however, this quiet movement reshapes continents, forms mountain ranges, and opens new ocean basins. Where two tectonic plates move toward each other, the crust can fold and rise upward, creating majestic mountain ranges. The towering peaks of the Himalayas, for example, were formed when the Indian tectonic plate slowly pushed into the Eurasian plate. This collision, which began about 50 million years ago, continues even today, gradually lifting the mountains higher each year. In other places, tectonic plates slowly pull apart. When this happens beneath the ocean, molten rock from deep within Earth rises to fill the gap. As the magma cools, it forms new oceanic crust. This process occurs along long underwater mountain chains known as mid-ocean ridges. These ridges stretch across the seafloor for tens of thousands of kilometers, making them the longest mountain ranges on Earth, though most of them remain hidden beneath the ocean. Another fascinating feature of plate tectonics is the formation of deep ocean trenches. These trenches occur where one tectonic plate slowly slides beneath another in a process called subduction. The deepest of these trenches, such as the Mariana Trench in the Pacific Ocean, reach depths greater than 11 kilometers below sea level. In these dark and remote places, the ocean floor forms some of the most mysterious landscapes on our planet. Despite the dramatic landscapes they create, tectonic plates move with remarkable patience. The continents we see today are only temporary arrangements in a story that has been unfolding for billions of years. Long ago, most of Earth's land was joined together in a single supercontinent known as Pangaea. Over time, the plates slowly drifted apart, forming the continents and oceans we recognize today. This slow movement continues even now. The Atlantic Ocean is gradually widening, while the Pacific Ocean is slowly shrinking. Continents are quietly traveling across the planet, though their journeys unfold so slowly that the changes are almost impossible to notice within a human lifetime. In this way, Earth's surface is not fixed or static. It is a living landscape, shaped by deep forces that operate on timescales far longer than human history. Mountains rise, oceans open, and continents wander, all through movements so slow and steady that they create the calm and balanced world we see today. The quiet architecture of Earth's surface reminds us that even the most powerful forces in nature often work slowly, patiently shaping the world over immense stretches of time. The gentle shield, Earth's atmosphere. One of the most remarkable features of Earth is something we cannot easily see when standing on its surface. It is the invisible envelope of gases that surrounds the planet, the atmosphere. This delicate layer, stretching hundreds of kilometers into space, quietly protects life and shapes the climate of the entire world. The atmosphere is composed primarily of nitrogen and oxygen, along with smaller amounts of other gases such as argon, carbon dioxide, and water vapor. Although it may seem light and invisible, the atmosphere has weight. In fact, the air above us presses down with a gentle force that scientists call atmospheric pressure. This pressure helps keep liquid water stable on Earth's surface, which is essential for life. The atmosphere is not a single uniform layer. Instead, it is divided into several regions, each with its own unique characteristics. The lowest layer, where humans live and where weather occurs, is called the troposphere. It extends roughly 8 to 15 kilometers above the surface, depending on location. Within this region, clouds form, winds move across the planet, and rain and snow gently fall back to Earth. Above the troposphere lies the stratosphere, a calm and stable region of the atmosphere. One of its most important features is the ozone layer, a thin concentration of ozone molecules that absorbs much of the sun's harmful ultraviolet radiation. Without this protective shield, life on land would face far greater challenges from solar radiation. Higher still are the mesosphere and thermosphere, regions where the atmosphere becomes increasingly thin. In the mesosphere, small fragments of cosmic dust and rock burn up as meteors when they enter Earth's atmosphere. The brief streaks of light we sometimes see at night, often called shooting stars, are actually these tiny pieces of space material being gently vaporized high above the planet. In the thermosphere, something magical occurs when particles from the sun interact with Earth's magnetic field and atmosphere. This interaction produces the auroras, shimmering curtains of green, red, and purple light that dance across the polar skies. Known as the northern and southern lights, these displays are among the most beautiful natural phenomena on Earth. Another remarkable feature of the atmosphere is its role in regulating temperature. During the day, gases in the atmosphere absorb and distribute heat from the sun. At night, they help prevent that heat from escaping too quickly into space. This balance creates the relatively stable climate that allows ecosystems to thrive across the planet. Clouds are also an essential part of this delicate system. Formed from tiny droplets of water or ice crystals, clouds reflect some of the sun's energy back into space while also helping retain warmth near the surface. Their slow movement across the sky is part of a vast circulation system that transports heat and moisture around the world. When viewed from space, the atmosphere appears as a thin glowing line of blue surrounding the planet. Compared to the size of Earth itself, this protective layer is incredibly fragile, thinner, proportionally, than the skin of an apple. Yet within this delicate shield lies the reason our planet remains calm, balanced, and full of life. The atmosphere quietly protects the surface from harmful radiation, stabilizes temperature, creates weather patterns, and allows the water cycle to function. It is a gentle guardian that works constantly, surrounding the planet with an invisible embrace that makes Earth a comfortable home in the vast coldness of space. The quiet power of Earth's oceans. When astronauts look back at our planet from space, the first thing they often notice is its deep blue color. About 71% of Earth's surface is covered by oceans, making water the dominant feature of our world. These vast bodies of water are not only beautiful and calming to observe, but they also play one of the most important roles in maintaining the balance of life on Earth. The oceans hold about 97% of all the water on the planet. Their immense volume helps regulate Earth's temperature by absorbing heat from the sun during the day and slowly releasing it over time. This process helps keep the planet's climate relatively stable, preventing extreme swings between hot and cold temperatures. Ocean currents are one of the quiet forces that distribute heat across the globe. These slow-moving rivers within the sea carry warm water from the equator toward the poles and bring cooler water back toward the tropics. One well-known example is the Gulf Stream, a powerful current in the Atlantic Ocean that helps warm parts of Europe, giving the region a milder climate than other places at the same latitude. Beneath the surface of the oceans lies a landscape as dramatic as any on land. The ocean floor contains enormous mountain ranges, vast plains, deep trenches, and underwater volcanoes. In fact, the longest mountain chain on Earth is hidden beneath the oceans. The mid-ocean ridge system stretches for more than 65,000 kilometers across the planet's seafloor. The deepest parts of the ocean are among the most mysterious places on Earth. In areas such as the Mariana Trench, the seafloor plunges to depths of nearly 11 kilometers. At these depths, sunlight cannot reach, and the pressure is more than 1,000 times greater than at the surface. Yet even in this extreme environment, life manages to exist in surprising forms. Many deep-sea creatures produce their own light through a process known as bioluminescence. In the darkness of the deep ocean, glowing fish, jellyfish, and microscopic organisms create gentle flashes of blue and green light. These glowing signals may help animals find food, communicate, or avoid predators. The oceans also play a vital role in producing the oxygen we breathe. Tiny drifting organisms called phytoplankton live near the surface of the water. Through photosynthesis, they convert sunlight and carbon dioxide into energy, releasing oxygen as a byproduct. Scientists estimate that these microscopic organisms are responsible for producing roughly half of the oxygen in Earth's atmosphere. Waves moving slowly across the ocean surface are another example of the quiet energy of water. Wind transfers its energy to the sea, creating rhythmic waves that travel across vast distances. When these waves reach the shore, they gently reshape coastlines, slowly carving cliffs and beaches over long periods of time. Despite their immense power, the oceans often appear calm and timeless. Their steady rhythms, tides rising and falling, currents flowing silently beneath the surface, waves rolling toward distant shores, have continued for hundreds of millions of years. In many ways, the oceans act as the great heartbeat of our planet. They store heat, move energy, support countless forms of life, and help maintain the delicate balance that allows Earth to remain a living world. And although we have explored much of the land on our planet, scientists believe that large portions of the ocean floor remain unexplored. The quiet depths of the sea still hold many mysteries, waiting patiently beneath the waves. The living skin of the planet, Earth's biosphere. Although Earth may appear vast and solid, the zone where life exists is surprisingly thin. Scientists call this layer the biosphere, the narrow region of the planet where living organisms interact with air, water, and land. Compared to the size of the planet itself, the biosphere is extremely small, extending only a few kilometers above the surface and a few kilometers below it. Yet within this delicate layer exists the extraordinary diversity of life that makes Earth unique. Life on Earth can be found in environments that range from frozen polar ice to scorching deserts and from mountain peaks to the deepest parts of the ocean. This incredible adaptability is one of the most fascinating features of living organisms. Over billions of years, life has slowly evolved to survive in nearly every corner of the planet. The earliest life forms were microscopic organisms that lived in Earth's ancient oceans more than 3.5 billion years ago. These simple microbes quietly transformed the planet. Through the process of photosynthesis, some of them began producing oxygen as a byproduct. Over millions of years, this oxygen accumulated in the atmosphere, gradually changing the chemistry of the planet and making it possible for more complex life to evolve. Plants later became one of the most important components of Earth's biosphere. Through photosynthesis, plants convert sunlight, water, and carbon dioxide into energy while releasing oxygen into the atmosphere. Forests, grasslands, and algae in the oceans all contribute to this remarkable process. In fact, the green life covering Earth's surface acts as a vast natural system that helps regulate the balance of gases in the atmosphere. The biosphere also includes an astonishing variety of animals. From tiny insects living in forest soils to enormous whales traveling across the oceans, animals play essential roles in ecosystems. Many species help pollinate plants, disperse seeds, recycle nutrients, and maintain the delicate balance of natural communities. Ecosystems, networks of organisms interacting with each other and their environment, exist across every landscape on Earth. Rainforests, coral reefs, grasslands, tundra, and wetlands each support complex communities of life. Though these environments may appear very different from one another, they are all connected through global cycles of water, carbon, and energy. One of the most peaceful and beautiful aspects of the biosphere is the quiet cooperation that occurs between different forms of life. In forests, fungi form underground networks that connect the roots of trees, allowing them to exchange nutrients and chemical signals. In coral reefs, tiny algae live within coral animals, providing energy through photosynthesis while receiving protection in return. These subtle partnerships help ecosystems remain stable over long periods of time. Even the soil beneath our feet is alive with activity. A single handful of healthy soil may contain billions of microorganisms, bacteria, fungi, and tiny invertebrates, all working together to break down organic matter and recycle nutrients back into the environment. Without these invisible communities, plants would struggle to grow and ecosystems would not function properly. From space, the biosphere appears as a thin green and blue layer covering the planet's surface. Forests stretch across continents, phytoplankton bloom in the oceans, and seasonal changes transform landscapes throughout the year. All of this activity occurs within a remarkably fragile envelope that has developed over billions of years. The biosphere reminds us that Earth is not simply a rock in space. It is a living world, a planet where countless forms of life quietly interact, adapt, and evolve together. This delicate web of life is one of the most extraordinary features of our planet, turning Earth into a vibrant oasis within the vast silence of the universe. The quiet future of Earth and the long journey of our planet. Earth often feels timeless. Mountains stand for millions of years, oceans follow their ancient rhythms, and the stars appear almost unchanged in the night sky. Yet our planet, like everything in the universe, is part of a long and ongoing journey through time. Even though these changes unfold slowly, the future of Earth is quietly being shaped by forces that have been at work since the beginning of the solar system. One of the most constant influences on Earth is the Sun. Our planet orbits the Sun once every year, traveling through space at a speed of about 30 kilometers per second. This steady journey provides the energy that powers nearly every system on Earth, from the growth of forests to the movement of winds and oceans. The Sun itself, however, is slowly changing. Like all stars, it gradually becomes brighter over time. Scientists estimate that the Sun grows about 10% brighter every billion years. Although this change happens extremely slowly, over immense timescales it will gradually influence Earth's climate and oceans. Long before such distant changes occur, Earth will continue its quiet cycles of transformation. Continents will slowly drift across the surface as tectonic plates move. Mountain ranges will rise and eventually erode. New oceans may open while others close. In hundreds of millions of years, the continents may once again gather together to form another supercontinent, just as they did in the distant past. Earth's climate also moves through long natural cycles. Over tens of thousands of years, small changes in the planet's orbit and tilt influence the amount of sunlight reaching different parts of the world. These changes can gradually lead to warmer or cooler climates, shaping the advance and retreat of glacier across continents. Life on Earth will also continue to evolve. Over billions of years, life has transformed from microscopic organisms in ancient oceans into the extraordinary diversity of plants, animals, and ecosystems that exist today. Evolution is a slow and patient process, but it constantly produces new forms of life adapted to changing environments. Another fascinating aspect of Earth's future is the continued exploration and understanding of the planet itself. Even today, scientists are discovering new species in remote forests and deep oceans. Vast regions of the ocean floor remain unexplored, and many ecosystems are still only partially understood. From space, Earth remains a rare and remarkable world. Among the many planets scientists have discovered around distant stars, none have yet been confirmed to possess the same combination of liquid water, protective atmosphere, and rich biosphere that exists here. Seen from afar, our planet appears as a small blue sphere drifting through the darkness of space, illuminated by the warm light of the sun. Within that thin atmosphere and across its oceans and continents, countless natural processes quietly work together to maintain the balance that supports life. The story of Earth is therefore not only about its past but also about its future. It is the story of a planet that continues to evolve, slowly changing yet remarkably stable over vast spans of time. In the grand scale of the universe, Earth is both ancient and young, a living world that has already existed for billions of years and may continue its quiet journey for billions more. Thank you for joining this peaceful journey across Earth. Take a deep breath, relax, and let these quiet thoughts stay with you as you drift into rest. Good night.